the practice and the method of Self on the Shelf is really powerful and really useful, but more than we can go into on a podcast episode.
Yeah.
And so we are going to offer a webinar on August 20th to you guys. It's free, just to go deeper into this. But at the highest level, it's four major steps. It's the invitation. It's putting yourself in the place where you're ready to invite and listen.
Yeah.
It's this active, reflective listening. That's the bulk of it and the hardest part. It's summarizing what you're hearing, and then it's appreciating and validating what you heard. And I think your last point about the conversations you've had with Lee, making sure to end with saying thank you. Kevin Riley made this point a lot, that the first thing out of your mouth when you get feedback should be thank you, whether or not you agree with it. But the point is, you want to listen to the extent that you can validate. I may not agree, but I totally see how you got to that conclusion.
And if you can get there, if you can understand how they arrived at their perspective and how them arriving at that perspective makes sense, you've done the big work, even if there's still disagreement. And Kevin said, can I read this?
Yeah.
He said, it's just hard to tell somebody something, that they don't want to hear. So somebody has now told you something that they think maybe you don't want to hear. And he said, you know what the first words out of your mouth ought to be? Thank you, thank you. Especially if that person is a subordinate, and I would throw a child, somebody who it's really a lot harder for anybody, the harder it was for them to bring it up, the more important it is for the first words out of your mouth to be thank you, because the first time you react poorly, he basically says that's the last time you'll get feedback from them.